Hello, we're back live. Like I said, I would come back. We're just going to do a real quickie tonight, as I have some recitations to do with my daughter in Italian for her Italian class. So I got to do this quick. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you really quick how to make Italian style cabbage as opposed to whatever other kind of style. I'm not going to get into anything else. Anyway, so I usually make a cabbage and potatoes Italian style, and it is really yummy. So we're going to start with what I do first. Actually, tonight I'm not going to really put potatoes in it because we just kind of want the cabbage tonight. But it's a very simple trick because you know when I'm doing these things for you, I am making my dinner. So we're going to start with a nice big pot. Then we're going to give it a nice coating of oil on the bottom. Just enough to coat the bottom. Now we're going to cut our onion. We're going to start with the onion. We're going to saute the onion for a second first. So while we're at it here, I'm going to give you my onion tip. So I always cut the onions from the root, which is the fuzzy part, to the stem. Don't ever cut an onion when it's round. It moves. Okay. Take some of this off. So we're going to cut off the top part, the stem part. And I usually kind of hold it down because when I peel up, some of it starts to peel and already makes the peeling process easier. Of course, when I'm doing it for people to see. Louis wants some also. Okay, so I like to leave this root attached because when you're doing your slices, it holds it together. So for this one, I'm just making chunks because I like them to kind of be the same size as the cabbage pieces I'm going to make. But if you're ever going to dice the tomato, dice the onion, you want to just go around in pieces and then slice, and you have it already diced. I don't want them that little right now, so I'm just going to give it 2 cuts, and then we're going to slice it. Put that in there. And this is not that big of a cabbage, so you know this is not it's a good size onion. I like the onions. I think the onions make the whole dish. So I'm putting the whole onion in. Usually 1 head of cabbage, 1 good onion is the measure. Potatoes, if you want to make it with potatoes makes it a meal. The cabbage unto itself is a side dish. I mean, we're going to make it a meal tonight because that's what we want. All right. So, with Kadisha. So.
Ciao. Ciao.
Who?
Wenda.
Huh?
Wenda O'Neill.
Wenda.
Hello.
Hi. Angelina's telling me who's talking or who's there. All right. So we're taking our big cabbage. We're going to cut this in half very carefully because, you know, I'm so adept at this. And then I take, so you've got the stem piece here. So usually I just triangle cut the stem out. You can, some people will leave the stem. You can cook the stem, but it takes longer and it's tough.
You just taught me
Tougher.
that.
Huh?
You just taught me that.
I just taught you that. Yes, I did.
What is that?
Angelina's here. Peek in and say hello.
Hello.
There she is. So I just cut this. Because this is in layers like an onion, you can just cut it one way, then cut it the other way, and then it's already broken up into pieces inside. And if there's any big pieces, just cut them up. And we throw these all in the pot. You can do the onions first, or you can do it all at once. It's really doesn't matter. Pieces of onion and pieces of cabbage. Okay, didn't do that very good.
Mom, what are you making?
I'm making cabbage, Italian style cabbage and potatoes. I actually have only 2 teeny tiny potatoes, which I'm going to go ahead and throw in, even though Angelina didn't want potatoes tonight. But I'm going to throw these 2 little ones in. So we're just cubing up the cabbage. And this, I have to say, no offense to my Irish friends, really is a lot tastier than boiled cabbage. No offense, but I didn't really like it. But I guess if you're used to it, you grew up with it, you know. So, all right. So our cabbage is all cut up. It's all in the pot. So all we're going to do with this pot, we're going to throw it on the stove. We're going to let it saute a little bit with the olive oil. It's going to start to cook a little bit. We are going to put in, usually I put in anywhere from half, so I've got a half of one here already started, to a whole if I have a big cabbage. I don't think I'm going to need a whole thing of sauce. Now, I've done this with fresh tomatoes. I've done it with canned whole tomatoes. I like these jarred ones from Italy, but this is a sauce. It's only once in a while can I find them in a crushed. But any kind of tomatoes, and you can use fresh cut up tomatoes, but you're going to put more of those in because you want them to break down and make a sauce. That's it. All you're going to put in next is some salt and some pepper. Let me put the tomatoes in. And then if it needs it as it's cooking, might add a little bit of water. But that's it. Actually, my knife is right here. I'm gonna real quick. What I do with the potatoes is I cut them kind of a medium, smallish kind of chunks. It's basically it's a vegetable stew. It's a cabbage stew in a way. The tomatoes and the onions really give it flavor. It's such a simple dish, but it's one of those good winter hearty dishes that you just can't imagine that it's that simple. I took this to a food demo thing I was doing recently, and people were surprised at how yummy it was for cabbage. So, really truly, pieces, you know, little 1-inch square kind of pieces I put in a way kind of the size of the cabbage, although this will take a little longer to cook. I have one other little one I'm going to do. And that's all you do. It's really simple. So cabbage, onion, tomato in olive oil, salt and pepper. And honestly, it doesn't need much salt and pepper. It actually gives a lot of flavor all by itself. Okay. And that's it. Now, this is what you get. You end up with this right here. It's this, not really that beautiful, but it is yummy bowl of cabbage and potatoes that you then get to eat. We made some already, so this I'm making for tomorrow. But it's yummy.
You get me a fork.
Oh, it's yummy. It's simple. The onions give it a sweetness. The potatoes make it a meal. The cabbage make it a side dish, but as you can see, this is 90% cabbage with just a few potatoes in it. And it just really simple, really good. So, there you go. So enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.